In this video, traders, we're going to look at what is the most important information for a short-term trader. Stay tuned. Hey traders, a very warm welcome to you. Okay, so as a short-term trader, what is the most crucial piece of information or chunk or basket of information, for want of a better word, that is useful to you to make profit? Let's have a look. Okay, so when you're short-term trading, you're trying to make decisions on future direction for a short time frame. That could be the next 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, to the end of the day. Any kind of time frame on that. So how do we make that decision? Well, we've got two things that are so important. They're really wrapped into one, but let's kind of dissect them. The first thing is the prior action. Now, the important thing as a trader is to identify what's important. So let me give you an example. If we have had a situation where a stock has gapped down on earnings yesterday, okay, it's been doing this, gaps down and starts to kind of do this yesterday. And now we're opening up today here at this point, right? There's day, whatever it may be, and this is day kind of 1, and now we're opening up here on day 2. That information from the previous day before that, let's say it's the Tuesday, the Monday, the Friday, the Thursday, is irrelevant. Okay, that is, who cares what the resistance levels are? Who cares what the pivots are? Nobody cares, because if the price is opening up anywhere here, of course it opens up here, yeah, but the chances are not. Chances are it's going to open up around here, below, above. So what's happened 5 days ago is irrelevant for a short-term trader. What is really relevant is what's happening. Have I got my red pen in my pocket? I do indeed, good. What is happening, or what is relevant, is what happened yesterday. Things like, okay, there's the high, there's the low. Oh, we've got a really big support, resistance level here. I need to mark that on my chart. Okay, we were intraday, we closed at the lows here. That's important. So without kind of making a mess of this, let's look at those 3 pieces of data that are really useful for us in this. You know what? I'm going to redraw this for you guys because I want to make this clear and concise. All right, so let's do it in red. So we have this action here. We have our kind of intraday trade from day 1. That's our day 1 trade, and day 2 is we're coming up here now. I'm going to put this here. This is our day 1. This is our day 2. Right. Point is, we've got the idea that that is all useless back there. This is useful. 3 pieces of information that we might want for this day is, okay, the high, fine. We've closed at the low, really useful information, and massive level of resistance here and support here that broke in the final hour. Admittedly, this is a rough drawing, but you get the idea. I've got 3 really, really valuable pieces of information from that day. And this is what I need as a short-term trader. So I can use that information on day 2 and say to myself, right, let's have a look at this. So my plan is, I know that this thing is weak because it's gapped down. I forgot to put the gap on this redrawing, but you get the point. We saw that on the earlier one. We've gapped down, we've oscillated around, we've struggled to get above that level, we've closed at lows, high to low, pretty weak. So I've already got a bearish thesis on this trade. I also know that we have a decent level of resistance here, because resistance turns into support, or support turns into resistance, should I say, and we had a decent level of resistance there as well. So I've got 2 levels I can mark on my chart already, and I've got my high back here. So I can start to frame my day. I can start to say, okay, I want to stay short if the price stays under this kind of top level of resistance. Fine. I want to initiate a short, or my first short, if we tag this. So if we kind of try and tag that at the open, I want to initiate a short because I know that there was a lot of people who are initiating trades at that level. Or if I'm feeling a little bit more cautious, I might wait for that level. Or let's say we flip it on its head, and I'm not saying this is I'm giving you a strategy from him, I'm just saying that the useful pieces of information. We could say, you know what, I'm bullish if we get above here and start to find support at that prior resistance. I'm going to look for a fade, I'm going to look for a break at the high. Whatever the situation is. The point is, the topic of this video is what's the most important information for a short-term trader. In that instance, it is what has happened in the prior day, because the previous days were so far out of the price action, it doesn't even matter. Right, okay. So What else are we looking at? So a normal day, then now we start to get some more information that's interesting to us. In other words, let's say we don't have a gap scenario. Let's say we have a scenario where we've been trading like this, we've been dipping to lows, we've been pushing back up, we've tried to fake out here, now we're here. You know, we've got day one kind of here, we've got day two, we've got day three. Now on day four, when we're trading this day here, what do you think is interesting? Not just that day, but this whole day here. And imagine though that this has kind of come down to here. We're not interested in these 5 days back. The point is we're fitting in to the previous analysis or the analysis what the most useful thing for us as a short-term trader is. And now I can kind of look at that and I can say, all right, you know, we closed at lows here, but we haven't broken this low, so that's my key level I need to look at. The prior day's high was pretty interesting. I've also found some little miniature support here. You know, you can see the point. So this is where we then extend our analysis out to find out potential trades for the day, because we could say to ourselves, listen, we've come down, we've been range bound now for 3 days. My trade idea for this is to break the low. And it wouldn't necessarily, you wouldn't get that just by looking at one day, because one day is saying it's gone up and come down here. It doesn't look that useful. But in fact that you can see, oh, actually we've come down, we've attempted to push above the high here, failed intraday at this period, roll back over, close at the lows. Oh, I quite like this setup. I'm going to leverage on that, look for a little pullback to that level, hit the short, press it for a break of the lows and trail it for whatever. So the point of the video, guys, without going on too much about this, is what's the most important information for a short-term trader? It is prior action. It could be the prior day, or it could be the prior 4 days, 5 days, 6 days. It's up to you as a short-term trader to bring in the information that's relevant and discard the stuff that's not. You don't care what happened 10 months ago. You don't care if it's out of your average range. Yes, you might need to look at it and say, well, if we break out here, if we do break out here, then I need to look at these levels and see potentially where we could stall. But your job is to focus on the things that matter at the moment in time as a short-term trader looking for an hour, 2 hours a day, whatever it is. All right, guys, thumbs up if you like this kind of stuff for short-term trading. Subscribe if you haven't yet already. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.